All right, so this is just right after that last Heat Bucks game. It's almost 1 in the morning, but I have to talk about this now that the Bucks have been eliminated. So if you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. But the Bucks have been eliminated. This is the Sixers' best chance to win a title, because the number 1 seed is gone. One of the best players in the league is out of the playoffs. And your next round, you're playing either the Celtics or the Hawks. It will probably be the Celtics, but, I don't want to, count anybody out just yet, because I think the Hawks could force a Game 7. I don't know if they'll win a Game 7, but I think they could force a Game 7. And Sixers are the only team that swept their first-round opponent. I mean, granted, it was the Brooklyn Nets, who were the worst team in the playoffs probably, but they've been sitting at home. They got like 8 days of rest. Embiid got 10 days of rest, and I'm hoping that with those 10 days of rest, Embiid will be able to play Game 1 of the second round. I think he's playing Game 1 regardless, but I'm hoping that with the amount of rest he got, he'll be as close to 100% as possible, because with his injury, a lot of it is you just have to keep resting. And let's see, it's Thursday. Series won't start until Monday, regardless if that series goes to a Game 7. So he still has a few days to rest and get healthy and get right. But the Sixers, with Embiid, have a really good chance of beating the Celtics. I know the Celtics have had the Sixers' numbers in the regular season, but all of those games were really close. And, postseason's a whole different story. I think, Sixers-Celtics is going 6 or 7 games, and I think it could really go either way. But I'm honestly leaning towards the Sixers with how the Celtics have played so far in the postseason. I mean, to go 6 games with the Atlanta Hawks, the team that people were saying you were going to sweep them, and now you have to try and make sure that they're not forcing a Game 7. The Celtics have just been playing really poorly in the playoffs. Tatum's been having some really bad games, and if Tatum has a few bad games against the Sixers, like he's had against the Hawks, and the Sixers are a way better defensive team than the Hawks, that's going to be really hard for the Celtics to win that series. And I have to say, Tatum has struggled against the Sixers most of the year, so that's something I can see totally translating to that series. I'm just assuming that the Celtics will win, going off of this, because I think the Sixers would sweep the Hawks or beat them in 5. The Celtics are really the team I'm most worried about, but they have seemed very beatable so far in this postseason, and I'm excited for the second round. And this, like I said earlier, this is the Sixers' best opportunity to win a ring, because I wholeheartedly believe Sixers can beat any team out west, literally any team. But I think the biggest threat to the Sixers, I thought it was the Bucks and the Celtics, but the Bucks have been eliminated. So I think the Celtics are the only team that's really standing in the Sixers' way. So if the Sixers can get past the Celtics, I think the Sixers will have a really, really good shot at winning a title this year. And that would do incredible things for the legacy of James Harden and Embiid. That would be incredible. A ring is all that James Harden is missing, and Embiid has just been constantly just put through the ringer in terms of his postseason performance. If he goes out there and he wins a title this year, he will have put all those doubters to rest. I mean, and, I think we got to start some conversations about, the Miami Heat and also Giannis. The Heat are always going to be a scary team in the playoffs just because of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is incredible. I mean, there's not much that I can say that hasn't already been said. He turns into Michael Jordan in the playoffs. He's just absolutely incredible. He just carried a number 8 seed past the number 1 seed, which is absolutely insane. So we need to talk about how Giannis went 10 of 23 from the free throw line, and then he also fouled a 3-point shooter towards the end of the game. Giannis honestly sold that game for the Bucks. So did Bud. Mike Budenholzer. He should have called a timeout. He had 2 timeouts. I don't know why he didn't call one. But in an elimination, in like a go-home game, you cannot miss 13 free throws. If you make literally less than half of those free throws, you win that game and you're staying in the series. And I know he was injured, but when Embiid last season was injured with a broken face and a torn ligament in his shooting hand, he was torn apart for losing to the Heat in 6 games. He came back and he won 2 games for the Sixers with just his presence and ultimately lost in 6 games. Giannis came back and lost 3 games in a row. And I guarantee you he will not be, as negatively talked about as Embiid was. Now, granted, Giannis does have a lot of respect because, he's proven he can win a title. He's proven he can lead a team to the championship. And he deserves all that respect. All I'm saying is, how can we tear apart one player for playing with these injuries and not also tear apart this other player for doing the same thing but losing in a worse fashion? Like, I just get tired of how Embiid is just constantly criticized unfairly a lot of the time. There is a lot of the time that he is also fairly criticized, but a lot of the stuff when it comes to his injuries is just pretty unfair, and he gets torn apart for going out there and playing through injuries and trying to help his team win in the playoffs. I mean, this is a guy that's played on a right torn meniscus for a whole series. He played with a broken face and a torn ligament in his hand. He is constantly playing through major injuries that ends people's seasons in the playoffs because he wants to win. And he just gets constantly torn apart for losing still. And I'm just hoping that this year could be different. Because, you had 10 days to rest, get as healthy as you can be, and you're going to be playing probably the Celtics. And you have a really good chance of beating the Celtics with the way they've been playing so far in the postseason. The Bucks are gone. I'm not saying that if you beat the Celtics, you're guaranteed a ring. But if you beat the Celtics and you get out of the second round this year, your path to a championship is the easiest it will ever be. Because you don't have to play the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. You're either going to be playing the Knicks or the Heat. 2 teams that are significantly worse than the Bucks. I shouldn't say significantly worse, but on paper, we're significantly worse. And Sixers versus the Knicks, I'm confidently taking the Sixers. Sixers versus Heat, that one's a little iffy, but I'm still going to take the Sixers in that one because of the star power. But absolutely crazy. And then, like I said, I think the Sixers can beat any team out west. So, I'm not worried about the West, like John Morant says. Even though he's about to get eliminated too, only needs, down 3-2 right now. But oh my gosh, I can't believe what I saw. These are just some of my reactions and thoughts. I thought I would just rattle them off. I'm hyped up. I'm gonna upload this later in the day when I have time. But just absolutely, I'm just blown away. The Heat have eliminated the Bucks. Sixers, I'm just begging you. You need to get the job done this next round. If you do not get the job done, you will not have another time with such an easy path to the championship after the second round. This second round will probably be the hardest matchup you have. Maybe. But I know the Celtics have always, they've always kicked our butts. But you need to get past them this time. Because if you get past them this time, your chance at a title is exponentially higher than it would have been if the Bucks would have advanced. I'm tired after that game. That was a long game. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. If you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Peace.